Ayan, so hey guys, for this video, we will discuss double entry bookkeeping for service businesses. This is under the subject Fundamentals of Accounting during the preliminary period. Again, so hey guys, I am Chauncey Ruano and I will be your companion through this video. So let's get started with the lesson outline. Yung tatlong i-discuss natin would be journal entries, posting to T accounts, and the trial balance. So kung matatandaan nyo, these three concepts are included in the first four steps in the accounting cycle. The first, of course, would be yung gathering of documents. So nag-gather tayo ng mga documents. So we'll discuss that later too. And then second would be journalizing, third would be posting to the ledger, and fourth would be the trial balance. So mayroon pang steps 5 onwards which will be discussed during the midterms and the final period. Ayan. But before we go into the steps, kailangan natin tandaan yung dalawang things na to. So una is the chart of accounts, then pangalawa is yung key accounts. So first, the chart of accounts. So chart of accounts, it is the listing of all accounts and their respective account numbers, serving as guide in recording transactions. So ito yung ginagamit ng mga businesses as guide pag nag-record sila ng mga business transactions nila. So, dahil doon, yung number and yung nature of accounts depend on the type of business operation. So, since hindi naman pare-pareho yung businesses ng lahat, magkakaiba rin tayo ng forms. So, may service, may merchandising, may manufacturing, and yung mga accounts sa isang firm wouldn't be applicable to another firm. So, that's why wala tayong pro forma when it comes to the chart of accounts, and yung number and nature of accounts, it will depend on the type of business operation. Ayan. But, meron tayong parang preferred na typical account numbering scheme. So, ayan. It is as follows. So, assets, numbers 100 to 299. So, yung mga numbers 100 to 199, yun yung current assets, cash, accounts receivable, prepaid expenses, supplies, etc. Then 200 to 299, property, plant, and equipment, and other non-current assets. Then for liabilities naman, 300 to 499. So yung 300 to 399, current liabilities yun. Accounts payable, notes payable, etc. Then 400 to 499 would be non-current liabilities, funds payable, mortgage payable, yung mga non-current liabilities yun. Then next, yung mga accounts under owner's equity, numbers 500 to 599. And then lahat ng revenue account, 600 to 699. And lahat ng mga expenses, 700 to 799. Hindi rin ito yung pinaka-basis. Parang typical account numbering scheme lang siya kasi it will really depend on the business and the type of business operation. Yung mga names ng accounts and yung numbers, nakadepend sila dun sa business and sa type ng business. Ayan, so next would be the T accounts. So T accounts, ito yung pinakasimpleng tool na pwede natin magamit sa pag-analyze ng effects ng transactions on each account. So ito yung format niya, dalawang side siya. So dito yung account name, then may account number din dyan. Then yung left or debit side, and then the right or credit side. So paggamit ng T account, so left, then right, then total mo sila, and then kung sino yung mas malaki, yun yung total ng account na yun. I-discuss natin yun later. But yan, when doing the T accounts, kailangan natin tandaan yung rule of debit and credit. So, rule of debit and credit, yung mga increase sa assets posted sa left side or sa debit. Kasi, increase in assets, nakalist siya sa debit, and then decrease sa credit. Then sa liabilities and sa owner's equity, yung mga increase sa mga accounts na to, nakalist siya sa credit. Then, pag nag-decrease sa debit, so increase in liability, credit, decrease, debit. Increase in equity, credit, decrease, debit. Now, let's go, i-explore natin yung sa owner's equity. Since sa owner's equity, meron din tayong apat dyan. Capital, drawings, revenues, and expenses. Ayan. So, yung capital, it increases owner's equity. So, yung normal balance niya is sa credit. So, pag nag-increase ng capital, nakalist siya sa credit. Pag nag-increase ng capital, sa credit. Then, revenues din. Revenues, it increases owner's equity. So, yung increase sa revenues, sa credit siya. And then, on the other hand, drawings, pag nag-withdraw ka sa business, madi-decrease yung equity mo. So, ang normal balance niya is sa debit. So, pag drawings, lalagay mo siya sa debit. And then expenses din. Kasi expenses, it decreases owner's equity. So, kapag nag-list ng expenses, pag may increase na expenses, sa debit siya. So, kaya kailangan natin tandaan yung rule of debit and credit when doing the T accounts. Ayan. So, dito na tayo sa 4 steps. First 4 steps in the accounting cycle. So, first would be gathering documents. So, basically, gagather lang tayo lahat ng mga documents na nakakuha natin or nagagamit natin when making business transactions, lahat ng mga receipts, invoices, vouchers, checks, promissory notes, statement of accounts, journal vouchers, contracts, and payroll sheet or report. So, nagagather lang tayo ng mga business documents din. So, I won't expound on this masyado. So, ayan, examples ng receipts, ng invoice, service sales or purchase, excuse me, then check or cash vouchers, then checks, statement of accounts, journal voucher, contracts, and payroll report. Now, let's go to step 2. Step 2 involves journalizing transactions. So, all transactions are initially recorded in the general journal or the book of original entry. And kailangan natin tandaan na each transaction always affects at least 2 accounts. One account has a debit effect while the other account has a credit effect. Dito papasok yung concept ng double entry accounting ni Father Luca Pacioli. So, hindi pwedeng isa lang sa debit then wala sa credit or dalawa sa debit then wala sa credit. Vice versa, hindi rin pwedeng walang debit tas isang credit or walang debit, dalawang credit. Hindi pwede yun. At least isa yung debit account then at least isa yung credit account. And yun din yung simple journal entry. At least one debit, at least one credit account. Pero may mga cases na yung mga transactions affected is more than one yung accounts na affected sa debit or more than one credit account yung affected. So, for example, if yung transaction, dalawa yung debit, isa yung credit, or isa yung debit, dalawa yung credit, tawag doon is compound journal entry. An entry with more than one debit or more than one credit account. So, ito yung itsura ng general journal. Dito yung date. So, if January 1, Jan 1, then account title and explanation. Dito yung debit account sa taas. Palagi mauuna yung debit account. Then, sa baba niya, naka-indent yung credit account. Hindi pwedeng mauna yung credit account sa debit account. Dapat debit muna, then credit sa baba. Tapos naka-indent dapat siya. And then, after nun, release mo yung corresponding amounts. And then, sa baba nung credit account, naka-indent din. Short explanation, brief explanation nung ano nangyari sa transaction niyo. Okay, so, meron tayong example dito. Sample transactions. Ayan, so, first, on August 1, 2015, first company borrows 50,000 from the bank evidence by a promissory note. So, nanghiram tayo ng 50,000 via promissory note. So, of course, date, August 1. And then, since nanghiram tayo, tapos nakakuha tayo ng cash, ang account natin dyan for debit is cash at 50,000. Then, since promissory note siya, automatic notes payable siya. So, dapat may indent tayo dyan. And then, ayan, magagita ng indent. Then, notes payable. Then, corresponding amount, 50,000. Excuse me. Ayan, bawal, hindi pwedeng naka-indent to. Hindi pwedeng hindi naka-indent. So, bawal na yung notes payable magkasamang ganyan. So, hindi pwede yun. And bawal rin naman sa taas yung credit before yung debit. Bawal yung credit dito, debit dito. Bawal yun. And then, next, sa baba, short explanation to record loan from bank. Ayan. So, number 2. August 15, 2015, first company purchases a truck for 74,000 pesos. So, yung terms niya, 20,000 down payment and balance on account. So, date muna, August 15. Then, bumili tayo ng truck. So, nag-gain tayo ng asset. So, truck. Ayan. And then, corresponding amount, 74,000. And then, terms. Meron tayong down payment na 20,000. So, down payment. So, nagbigay tayo ng cash na 20,000. So, cash credit, 20,000. And then, yung balance on account. So, yung balance natin, 74,000 minus 20,000 is 54,000. And then, yung account, since on account siya, walang indication if not. So, accounts payable. Then, brief explanation to record purchase of truck. Ayun. So, yun yung example ng pag-record ng transaction sa general journal. Ayan, may page 1. Okay, so move tayo sa next step. Step 3 sa accounting cycle would be posting to the general ledger. The general ledger, it is a complete collection of all accounts of the company. Yung mga accounts individually numbered for easy reference. Dito rin papasok yung chart of accounts. General ledger is also known as the book of final entry. And meron tayong dalawang formats dun. Una is yung 3-amount column format, which is typically used sa business world. And then second would be the T-account format used for teaching, and analysis of complex transactions. So ito, in an educational setting and kapag nag-analyze tayo ng complex transactions. So ito yung kanina, ito yung T-account format. Same lang siya. And then ito yung T-amount column format. Ito yung account name, account number, date, explanation, then debit, credit, and then balance. So, meron tayong sample rin. Meron tayong example here. Ayan. So, ipopost natin sa Ledger yung mga nirecord natin kanina dito sa general journal. So, ayan. First account is cash. So, naglagay na ako ng account number na 100 since cash. And then, dito sa transaction, dito sa mga transaction sa general journal, meron tayong cash from August 1. So, date, ito date, August 1. And then, before pala, kailangan meron tayong beginning balance. So, beginning balance natin, 0. Ayan, 0. Beginning balance. Then, meron tayong 0 sa debit since ang normal balance ng cash, since asset siya is debit. So, balance 0. Then, August 1, ito yung loan. Nanghiram tayo sa bangko. So, particulars niya, loan. And then, ito, FG1. Itong G1 kasi naka-record siya sa first page ng General Journal. Ngayon, kapag nag-record ka na dito, dun mo palang ilalagay itong F dito. Hindi ka pwedeng maglagay ng numbers ng accounts dito or yung mga numbers galing sa chart of accounts. Hindi mo muna siya pwedeng ilagay kapag hindi ka pa nakapag-post sa ledger. Ayan, so yung F niya is G1 since page 1. So if page 2, G2, page 3, G3, and so on and so forth. Loan, since nadagdagan yung pera mo dito, debit, 50,000. Then for balance, yung current balance mo, 0. Then yung nadagdag or nabawas sa transaction, 50,000. So, 50,000 plus 0, 50,000 yung balance mo. Ayan. Tapos kapag nakapaglagay ka na sa ledger niyan, dito mo palang ilalagay yung account number ng cash, which is here, 100. 100 siya yan. Ayan. And then next, sa August 15 naman. August 15, meron tayong outflow of cash since nag-down payment tayo sa truck. So, purchase of truck. Then, F ulit, Q1. Then, since may outflow of cash, naglabas ng pera, credit tayo ng 20,000. Then, balance, yung balance natin from the previous transaction, i-combine na natin dito. So, since credit minus, so 50,000 minus 20,000, 30,000. Ayan. Next account, dito tayo sa may truck. Since truck is a PP, so 200. Non-current asset check. Ayan. So, ulit, beginning balance, debit, and then balance. 0. Ayan. So, date. Bumili tayo ng August 15 ng truck. So, ayan. Wala tayong explanation dito kasi self-explanatory. Bumili tayo ng truck. And then F, G1. Then yung truck is worth 74,000. So 74,000 yung debit natin. And then balance, 0 plus 74,000, 74,000. So ayan, tapos na tayo sa account na truck. Then next, dito tayo sa mga liabilities. Account number 300, accounts payable. So as always, beginning balance. Since accounts payable siya, current liability. So ang normal balance niya is sa credit. So credit, then balance 0. Then, ito, August 15, accounts payable, yung balance on account dun sa purchase ng truck, so 54,000. So, accounts payable, August 15, then account from purchase of truck, and then G1, 54,000, and then 0 plus 54,000, 54,000. Tapos, ilagay natin siya sa may, yung F sa general journal. So, cash, 200, then truck, 200, accounts payable, 300. Ayan. So last, notes payable, account number 301. So beginning balance ulit. Then current liability siya, so credit ulit. And then August 1, so nag-loan ka sa bank. Ayan, so loan. Then F mo, G1, page 1. Then credit mo, 50,000. Then 50,000 plus 0, 50,000. Then lagay mo, i-record mo na yung account number dito sa F301. Ayan, so ayan, para mas makita. Ito na yung general journal and then yung ledger under the three amount format. Ayan. Okay, let's proceed sa step 4. Okay, so step 4 is yung trial balance. It is used to periodically test whether the general ledger is in balance. So, dito, lahat ng mga accounts, i-release natin and yung balance niya as of a specific date. For example, as of December 31, 2020, as of June 30, yun. Then, all debit balances are in one column and all credit balances are in a second column. So, ito yung example ng trial balance. So, headings, company name, trial balance, unadjusted, kasi step 4 pa lang tayo, and then yung date. Then, lahat ng mga accounts nakalist, and then lahat ng mga accounts na yung normal balance is debit, sa debit. Then, lahat ng normal balance is sa credit, sa credit. Then, dapat yung sum ng debits and sum ng credits, balance. Hindi pwedeng mas mataas to, hindi pwedeng mas mataas to. Dapat pareho yung value ng debit and credit. Kasi pag hindi pareho yan, may mali dun sa nagawa mo either sa journal or sa ledger or even dito sa trial balance. Mali ka ng pag-add, mali ka ng nalagay. Ayun. So, kailangan attentive tayo dito. Which, ayun na nga, errors in making the trial balance. So, kunyari, if may transaction na hindi ka na lagay, so error na yun, hindi na maging mahirap na yun. Kumbaga, dapat lahat ng transactions ilalagay mo. And then, if dapat once lang, hindi more than once. Kasi, magiging error ka sa pag-trial balance. And then, posting a part of a transaction correctly as a debit or credit, but to the wrong account. So, yung mga ganitong errors, it will cause the trial balance to be unequal. Tapos, yun. Kaya dapat, kapag gumagawa tayo ng trial balance, dapat attentive tayo and careful. Hindi lang actually sa trial balance, dapat from the start, from gathering of documents nga, dapat careful ka na dapat lahat ng mga transactions, yung mga documents, tapos yung transactions, dapat alam mo, tapos dapat nagagather mo siya. Tapos sa journalizing, dapat careful ka doon, and then pag-post mo sa ledger, and then sa trial balance, dapat from the start, dapat attentive and careful tayo when preparing the trial balance. Okay, so now let's go to an exercise, long problem. Ayan. So, I'll read it first. On April 5, Timothy established an interior decorating business, Tim's Design, with a cash investment of 200,000. Then, he completed the following transactions for April, and as follows. Una, we should record each transaction in the general journal and refer to the following chart of accounts in selecting what accounts are to be debited and credited. And then, after nun, magpo-post tayo sa ledgers, and then, this time, T accounts gagamitin natin. So, T accounts, post tayo sa T accounts, and then, gagawa tayo ng unadjusted trial balance. Yun. So, let's start. So, first, eto. On April 5, Timothy established an interior decorating business with a cash investment of 200,000. So, here, nag-invest siya ng 200,000 sa business niya. So, date tayo, April 5, then account, since nagpasok ng pera sa business, so cash, then amount niya 200,000. Then credit would be Timothy Capital. This problem is also in the Fundamentals of Accounting book. I think it's page 113. Oh, 114. 114 to 150. Ayan. For reference din. Ayan. So, credit. So, credit niya is Timothy Capital. Then, credit, 200,000. Then, brief explanation. To record initial investment. Ayan. So, pag nag-record tayo, pwede mo na rin tayo ledger actually. Ayan. So, for cash. So, cash, April 5, 200,000. And then, Timothy Capital, 200,000 din. So, cash muna, 200,000. Then, dito tayo sa may Timothy Capital. With April 5, 200,000. Ayan. So, next. April 7, purchase from Delta office equipment of 55,000 pesos using his credit card. This will be paid by the business. So, office equipment siya, then on account, since gamit ng credit card, then babayaran naman ng business. So, ang account natin dyan, April 7. Ayan. Di tayo naglalagay ng month sa unang transaction lang dapat. Then, yan, April 7. Kasi bumili ka ng equipment, so may pumasok na equipment sa business, so equipment, dagdag asset. Then, credit, accounts payable, since binayaran mo using your credit card. Yan, equipment mo, 55,000, accounts payable mo rin, 55,000. Then, explanation, purchase of equipment on account. Next, April 8. April 8, bumili ng used car for 180,000 for office use, paying 80,000 cash and taking a bank loan for the remainder. So, bumili tayo ng kotse, so nakagay tayo ng asset dun, car. And then, yung debit niya, car is 180,000. And then, ayan, yung terms niya, nagbayad siya ng 80,000 as cash. So, ito, nagbayad siya ng cash, so 80,000. And then, the rest, taking a bank loan. So, nag-loan siya dun sa remaining. So, upon checking chart of accounts, yung title dyan is bank loan payable. So, aside from cash, bank loan payable is also a credit account. So, compound journal entry siya. Dalawa yung credit, isa yung debit, pero balance pa rin. Then, explanation. Purchase of used car. Then, lagay natin siya saglit sa ledger. So, dun tayo sa April 7, equipment. Ayan, April 7, equipment, 55,000. And then, accounts payable. April 7, 55,000. Ayan. And then next, April 8, car. Bumili tayo ng car, 180,000. And then, cash. Kasi nagbayad tayo ng 80,000 down payment. And then, bank loan payable. Ayan, 100,000. Okay. Ngayon, pwede mo na rin siyang ilagay dito sa F sa part. Pero, lagay natin siya after nating journal and ledger lang. Ayan. So, next, April 10, Purchase office supplies and materials for cash, 11,350 pesos. So, bumili tayo ng office supplies for 11,350 pesos through cash, walang credit. So, hindi on account. So, April 10. Then, since bumili tayo ng supplies, nakagain tayo ng asset supplies. Then, corresponding amount. Then, credit, since binili mo siya gamit cash. So, cash. Then, same amount. Tapos, explanation, purchase of office supplies. Paglagay mo sa ledger, credit, yan, April 10, 11,350. Then, supplies, 11,350. Alright, next. April 15, received cash from Miss Laura for job completed in her condo, worth 57,500 pesos. Supplies were used up amounting to 8,250 pesos. Ayan, so, meron tayong service fees dito kasi interior design tayo, then meron tayong nagamit na supplies. So, dalawang transaction. So, first muna, April 15, receive cash. So, hindi on account yung service fee. So, straight up cash. So, nakatanggap tayo ng cash dyan. So, ayan, cash, 57,500. Then, credit natin since earn na tayo ng service. So, service fees earned. Corresponding amount, 57,500. Then, explanation, cash collection from Laura. And then next, supplies were used up amounting to 8,250 pesos. So, kapag gumagamit tayo ng supplies, ang debit natin is supplies expense kasi nagamit natin yung supplies. So, at 8,250 yung amount. Then, yung credit natin rather is supplies kasi naubos yung supplies, nagamit natin yung supplies. So, yan. Kapag nakagamit ng supplies, supplies expense debit, supplies credit. Then, explanation. To record, use supplies. Next, April 20, purchase materials and supplies on credit for 15,000 pesos. So, bumili tayo ng supplies pero on credit. So, ayan. April 20. Then, supplies, since bumili tayo ng supplies. Then, accounts payable since on account siya. On credit, 15,000. Then, corresponding explanation. Ngayon, lagay mo natin siya sa may ledger kasabay ng April 15. So, April 15, nakatanggap tayo ng cash, 15,000. 57,500 rather. 15th of April pala. Then, service fees earned. April 15, 57,500. Next, supplies expense, 8 to 50. So, supplies expense tayo for April 15. Ayan. And then, supplies. Credit na siya since nagamit natin yung supplies. Then, next, bumili naman tayo ng additional supplies. So, April 20, 15,000. Then, accounts payable since on credit, 15,000. Ayan. Next. Alright. Next. April 23. Recorded job completed for Mr. Ferrer. Term on account, 10 days. For 14,950 pesos. Supplies were used up amounting to 5,500 pesos. So, dalawang transactions ulit siya. So, first, yun sa una sa April 23, recorded job completed for Mr. Ferrer. Then, on account. So, pag nagbigay tayo ng service on account, accounts receivable yun since we are yet to earn money. Kumbaga, we are yet to receive money for our service. So, then amount 49.50. Then, sa credit, service fees earned since nakapag-render na tayo ng interior design service. Then, corresponding explanation. The record service on account. Lagay natin siya real quick. 423, 14,950, and then service fees earned. Ayan, 14,950. Then, second transaction for April 23, nakagamit tayo ng supplies ulit. So, uh, kapag gumamit ng supplies, debit supplies expense, credit supplies. Then, corresponding amount niya is 5,500 pesos. So, yeah. Then, corresponding explanation, then lagay na sa ledger. So, supplies expense ulit. Ito, PP23 for 5,500, and then supplies, yet again. April 23, gumamit ng supplies, 5,500. Next, April 24, receive an invoice for repairs on car and paid 4,500. So, naka-receive tayo ng invoice for repairs. So, repairs expense siya. Upon checking the chart of accounts, then yun yung account, repairs expense. And then, nag-buy na tayo ng 4,500. So, cash. So, ayan, April 24. Then, since expense, so, debit, then 4,500. Then, since may outflow of cash, may outflow, naglabas tayo, so, credit yung cash, 4,500 with explanation. Payment for repair of car. So, here, repairs expense mo, April 24, 4,500. Ayan. And then, for cash, like outflow, April 24, 4,500. Alright. Next, April 25, paid utilities expense, 1,750 and rent, 8,000. So yan, April 25. Then, nagbayad tayo ng dalawang expense, utilities and rent. So, una mo na yung rent expense, then for 8,000. And then, utilities expense for 1,750. Then, nagbayad tayo through cash. Wala man sinabing on account. So, will automatically ina-assume natin na nagbayad siya cash. Yan, compound entry din to. Dalawang debit, isang credit. Pero balance pa rin siya. Since, alam mo to, same lang dito. Then, explanation. Payment for rent and utilities expense. Ayan. Next. Pay 20,000 on the bank loan. So, meron tayong April 26 here. And then, since nagbayad tayo, pag nagbayad tayo ng liabilities natin, nababawasan yun. So, debit yung bank loan payable in this transaction. Then, naglabas tayo ng cash since nagbayad tayo. So, cash. Then, corresponding amount, 20,000. And then, explanation. Ayan. So, lagay muna natin yung dalawang transactions. So, rent expense here. Yan, April 25 for 8,000. Utilities expense. Sorry. This should be April 25 too. And then 1,750. Then next, cash. Ayan, April 25, 9,750. Then next, bank loans payable since nagbayad ka ng loan for 20,000. Then nag-outflow of cash. So April 26, 20,000. Ayan. Next, April 27, receive cash from Mr. Ferrer, 10,000. So yung si Mr. Ferrer yun sa account na sa accounts receivable natin since yung service hindi pa niya nababayaran until now, 10,000. Ayan, so naka-receive tayo ng cash, so automatic cash yung debit natin. And then since nabawasan yung accounts receivable natin, accounts receivable yung credit since nabawasan yung matatanggap natin. Yung or expected na matatanggap natin. So 10,000. And then record cash collection from bearer. Ayan. Then, here, April 27, then 10,000. And then account receivable, April 27, 10,000. Next, April 28, paid salary of worker 5,000 pesos. So, ano tayo? Nagbayad ng salary ng employer. So, salary is expense. Yung debit, since nagpasweldo tayo, then credit, cash, since lumabas yung pera. Then corresponding amounts, 5,000. Then explanation, the record payment of salaries. Then here, salaries expense for 5,000, and then cash for 5,000. Next, April 29, paid to Delta 5,000 pesos of the amount owed for equipment. Ayan, so si Delta, ito yung sa April 7 na bumita ng office equipment gamit credit card. So, nagbayad tayo ng 5,000 partial payment. So, ayan, April 29, since nagbayad tayo, mababawasan yung accounts payable natin since decrease in accounts payable, sa debit siya. Ayan. Kasi pag, ah kasi pag nagbabayad tayo ng liability, nababawasan yung liability natin. Then, outflow of cash for 5,000. Explanation, payment of account to Delta. Now, sa accounts payable, ito, April 29, 5,000. Then, cash, right? Cash. April 29 for 5,000. And last, sa transaction, withdrew materials and supplies for personal use for 3,500 pesos. So, nag-withdraw tayo ng supplies. So, since withdrawal siya yung debit account since contra equity yan. So, ayan, Timothy drawing for 3,500. Then, since ang winidraw natin is supplies, so supplies yung credit natin. If nag-withdraw ka ng cash, so cash yun. If nag-withdraw ka ng equipment, the equipment yung lalagay mo as credit. Then, record withdrawal of supplies. And lagay lang natin, Timothy drawing, April 30, 3,500. And then, supplies. Here, April 30, 3,500. Ngayon, tapos na tayong mag-journalizing. And then, sa ledgers, na-record natin lahat ng transactions from here sa journal. So, ito total na lang natin siya. So, total natin lahat. Total natin to. Ayan. Then, total natin. And then, kung, since ang normal balance ng cash is debit, so, ano yung mas malaki din, yun din yung, ano, side niya. And then, subtract mo lang. So, makuha mo is 131,900. Then, let's just do the same sa lahat ng accounts. Ito total lang natin to lahat. Ayan. So, for accounts receivable, 4,950. Then, for supplies, we have 9,100. Then, equipment, since one transaction lang, yan, as well as a car. Then, bank loan payable, 100,000 minus 20,000. So, 80,000. Then, accounts payable, 5,000 and then 70,000. So, 65,000 siya. Then, capital, since one account lang, and grow service fees earned. So, sasalang natin ito lahat. Notice na lang din na yung mga accounts na debit yung normal balance is pag nagtototal ka sa left side. Then yung mga accounts na credit, yung normal balance like ito mga payables, capital, sa right side. Then yan, pati expense, left side. Then, ito mga expense account, since once na sila na gamit as it is, then supplies expense. Ayan. Ayan. Ngayon, pwede mo na rin silang ilagay dito sa F. dito sa may general journal. Kapag free account form, kapag free amount format, kada lagay mo, lagay ka na rin doon sa journal, kagaya nung here kanina, wherein pagkalagay natin sa ledger, ilagay agad tayo dito sa journal. Ayan. So, for fresh lang natin ito lahat. Ayan. And then, here. Ayan. So, if i-check nyo yan, ayan, pause nyo na lang guys. If i-check nyo yan, ah, sila rin yung mga corresponding numbers sa mga accounts dito sa chart of accounts. So, yung cash 11, so yung cash transaction 11, then 31 for capital, 31. Yun. Mag-refer tayo sa chart of accounts here. Ayan. And then next step. Now na nakapag-journal na tayo, nakapag-journalizing, then nakapag-post tayo sa T accounts or sa ledger, lahat ng mga accounts dito, yung mga totals, ibabalance natin sila. So, yan. Teams design, unadjusted trial balance since wala pa tayong adjusting journal entries rather. And then, as of April 30, 2019. So, ito yung format. Account number. So, ito, page sa chart of accounts. Then, yung respective account titles niya. And then, release mo lang. So, pansin nyo, meron kasi dito ang account na prepaid insurance na wala sa trial balance. So, if wala yun, disregard na lang natin muna since wala eh. Zero yung amount. Walang transactions na ganun for a certain period. And yan, kung ano yung mga nakuha mong totals ito sa ledger, sila din yung ilalagay mo sa trial balance. So, for cash, 131,900 debit. So, debit yan. Accounts receivable, supplies, equipment, car, respective amounts. So, debit sila since asset sila. And then, liabilities, yung bank loan payable, since yung nakuha mong total is 80,000, and sa accounts payable, 65,000, ilagay mo sila. Then, capital, 200,000. Then, drawing, contra equity to, pabawas equity, so 3,500. And then, yung service fees earned, ayan, 72,450. So, ayan, sa credit siya. Then, lahat ng expense, respectively, dito sa debit. Then, ito total mo siya. So, pag tinotal mo siya, ang total niya is 417,450. Ibig sabihin, balance. Balance yung trial balance siya. Then, ibig sabihin nun, yung mga nilagay natin sa journal and sa ledger, yung mga amounts, tama yung nilagay natin. Naging attentive and naging careful tayo sa paglalagay ng amounts and yung accounts. Ayun. That's magandang feeling. It's like a top 10 feeling, di ba? Like, parang achieve mo na peace of mind, tsaka world peace, ganun. Parang I'm kidding. Ano, it gives you like a certain feeling of satisfaction ba na finally, pag tapos na yung parang finally, na-balance ko na. Promise. Pag na-balance nyo to guys, sobrang saya sa feeling. And also very empowering kasi at least na-balance mo. So, alam mo na kung paano. At least, di ba? Parang medyo gamay mo na. So, yun din. Tip lang din. Konting practice, guys. It takes time. Hindi naman instantly na makukuha mo agad itong mga to. So, yun. Watch videos, magbasa sa libro, mag-try ng practice problems. Kaya mga sasabi ng mga profs and mga ates and kuyas natin. Ayun. Yun, pro tip ko siguro yun. Pro tip. Ayun. And yun. So, that is it. Thank you so much po. Yung link for sources used, pwede yung i-type yan and ipoprovide din naman po namin yan. And for any questions or concerns, feel free to drop a message at the comments or at my messenger inbox. Name is Chon01. Profile picture yung nakatingin sa baba. Tapos naka-block. Nasa BGC. Ayun. Ayun. So, if may questions or concerns, guys, feel free to drop a message. Di naman po ako nangangagat. Pero yun, I will be more than happy and more than willing to be of help sa inyo guys. So ayun po. Thank you so much and I hope somehow may natutunan po kayo about sa double entry bookkeeping and at least medyo nagagamay nyo na or medyo nasasanay na kayo kung paano. And yun, kasi fundamentals yan parang basics yan. Kasi yung mga further steps sa accounting cycle, magiging ano siya, useful, mas magiging madali if alam mo na yung mga basics like ito, double entry bookkeeping. So ayun, if may questions guys, feel free to message me or a comment. And yun, thank you so much and have a nice day everyone. Stay safe. Take care guys. Ingat kayo.